Everything else in between, it's a little bit more challenging to fit them in because we got to start them. We got to start them to where they land at the accented note is the one. So if I go, if I'm playing a beat and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See how it changes and moves the beat? Okay, so it's an odd time fill. So a lot of times what we got to do is start it in a different spot to make it work. So the easiest drum fills to play normally in the way that we are playing like a 4/4 rock beat is 3, 5, and 9. Those are the most common. Okay, everything else in between, it's like if you count it right, you can make it fit, but you got to figure out where the 1 is at. It's a little bit of a math problem because you got to adjust it, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is 3, 5, and 9. Those are the easiest ones to play against a regular 4/4 rock beat. Sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we can take that into the realm of the rest of the drum kit. So go ahead and move your the pad off the floor, Tom, and let's move those around the kit. Okay. First one could be just the 3-stroke. Okay. 1. Okay. That one's probably easiest to keep on the snare drum, but you could change and do, or flip your hands. Okay, if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to incorporate the tom into that 3-note drum fill. Okay, it comes really fast because you only get 2 notes, and then you got to do your 1, right? So you get down, or so look at the stickings that I gotta do to pull those off, right? Yeah. I either gotta go which makes left, right, left, right. Okay, that I have to do that for the triplet. Okay, or I got to cross over the hand. If I do right, left, okay, I could do this. That creates kind of a different sound though. The drums travel in a different, kind of like high to low, right? Could work. It's kind of cool. Okay. That's where the creativity part in your drumming and everybody's drumming kind of comes from. We all use the same stickings. We all choose to use the same hands, but it all depends on how you want to start and where you want to start on it. So that's what you'll practice. You'll practice stuff like, okay, I'm going to make a beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and maybe the 4 time. I'm still doing that 3-stroke roll, right? But now I'm just moving my hand onto a different part of my drum kit. Okay? That last note on the 1, that doesn't always have to be the hi-hat. Maybe it's a crash cymbal. Right? So it can be a crash, it can be a tom, it could just be starting the next part, maybe it's just starting your groove over again. Okay? We use those rolls just like that. They're kind of like little turnarounds. So when we're playing music and we're playing a beat, we'll go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. So we're just using it like every time we get maybe 2 bars, of 4. So we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we do a little fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and we do another little fill, right? It's just like little turnarounds. So we can use those rolls to help us turn around. Now the bigger rolls, longer runs, we're getting more and more creative because maybe we're trying to really do something either like super cool or super musical, or maybe that's the part where the whole band is going to do something in the song where it's a really, really big drum fill. Okay, so then we'll use something like the 5-stroke roll. Okay, so the same thing now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. But now I can move around. Same one. Okay, I'm still using the same amount of strokes. I can start messing around with it too. I can do doubles, right? Same amount of space, same exact amount of notes, but I can change my hands. Because see, now that that's what I was saying, now that you know paradiddles, now that you know doubles, now that you know all those different, the basic rudiment strokes, as you start playing kit, you start applying those things depending on what it is you're trying to do. If you want to be able to hit your snare drum and your floor tom, okay, well you got to think about it. It's like, hey, how can I do that? What's the best sticking? Is it best if I go, or is it best if I go? Okay, it's kind of your choice depending on what you're trying to do. So keep in mind as you're doing those rolls, that last note is accented. So it can be a crash, it can be a tom, it can be the hi-hat, okay, even if it's a long one. Okay, so let's play around with a couple of them. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to play our basic beat, and I'm going to call out 3. If I say 3, I want you to do whatever comes to your mind first, but just a simple 3-stroke, okay, anything. Whatever you think up. But try and play it in time, and make sure that you land that note on the 1, okay? And then I might say 5, and when I say 5, 1, 5. I don't know, whatever you think up. But you're going to have to play all 5 strokes, and you try and land it on the 1. Okay? So we'll go slow. Let's go with a real slow beat. Now, I'm not going to do a fill. I'm going to keep playing the beat for you. That way you can do a fill over what I'm playing. But I'm just going to tell you when to do it. Okay? So let's do it. Let's play a groove now. 3. Right, here it comes. 3. And this, watch. Here we go. 3. 3.
Oh yeah.
Short one. 3. Good. Gotta get back on the beat. 3. It's gonna be your spot, okay? 3. Good. I like it. Another one. 3. Very good. 3. 3. do a 5. Do a 3. Good. And stop. Excellent. Okay, that's the idea. See, as we're playing drums, we're kind of thinking that stuff on the fly. Nothing is really planned. In other words, unless there's something that's written down in the song that's like, okay, you got to play this beat right here, or you got to play this groove. Those parts can be written. But when a piece of music tells me drum fill, it just says drum fill. It's not telling me what to play. It's just telling me how much space I have. So that means everything in that space is kind of up to me. It's my idea. What am I going to play there? So as drummers, we're kind of thinking ahead. It's like, yeah, we're playing the music right now, we're listening to what's happening in the music, but we're also kind of anticipating what's coming up. Just like right now when you were playing that beat, it was like, okay, you feel the turn coming, right? So when I said 5, then you knew, okay, 5. So then what we do is we kind of train our hands over and over and practice these drum fills. You know, when you're playing at home and you get some time to play with your kit, mess around with those drum fills and think about what it is that you want to do and say, okay, I want to try and do a 5-stroke roll, and I want to go snare, tom, crash, snare, tom, crash. All right, da 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 crash, da 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 crash, da 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 crash, and that's what you're practicing. And then once you get comfortable with that, then play a beat and stick it in the beat. Okay, that's how you kind of inject that into your playing. You learn how to do the fill first. You learn what you want to do. You figure out what you want to play, and then you start playing it in the context of the groove. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have 3-stroke roll. Right? What if we did something different though? What if we went? In other words, what if we shortened the space of that drum fill, and then we used it in a smaller space, so then we could do more of them? Okay. In other words, now instead of me doing just like, I might go. See what I just did? I used my double sticking, right? My little bounce that we did. That's 3 strokes, correct?
Yeah.
The last note is accented. Well, what I did is I put 2 of them together, and I doubled the speed, so I'm playing them 2 times as fast. So now instead of going, now I'm going. It's still taking up the same spot as the, but now I'm doing 2 of them really, really fast. Okay? That's the other thing that we do. When we work on speed, the reason that we work on getting faster, it's not just to get faster. It's to be able to do whatever kind of drum fills or whatever kind of drum beats that we play. We want to be able to do them at many different speeds. So we need the hand speed to match. In other words, if my hand speed, let's say I can't go. Well, if I can't do that, then I'm not going to be able to do a beat like this at that tempo go, because my hands aren't going to move as fast. If my hands didn't move as, let's say the fastest I could go was, when the beat was, I'm going to do it and go. It doesn't work, right? So I need my hands to be as fast as the tempo that I'm playing.